from CBS News Bay Area, USPS owed thousands by man who ordered mailers in support of Thao during mayor's race. Now, obviously, she's freaking out. It's still quite likely that nothing at all is going to happen to her. We see the corruption all over the place. But she did say that, I am not the subject of this investigation. I didn't do anything wrong.
I plan to be 100% transparent and cooperate fully with this investigation. And I want to be crystal clear. I have done nothing wrong. I can tell you with confidence that this investigation is not about me.
Which, of course, is her tepidly throwing other people under the bus, and I suppose this might be one of them, but my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
It would help me a lot, and it would cost you nothing, but if you wanted to help me even more and spend some money, you would buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description.
Oakland's mayor back in public today for the first time since speaking out about the FBI raid on her own home. So Thao was at a meeting of the Metropolitan Transportation Commission, this happening in San Francisco, where they voted to put a $20 billion bond on the measure on the November ballot to boost affordable housing around the Bay Area. But our crew says that Thao...
Bro, this is absolutely insane. And for the record, they're obviously not going to do anything with affordable housing. This has been going on for decades. You might as well just let Mr. Beast help with affordable housing.
Left in the middle of the meeting without her belongings, which her aide had to come back to get. Thao refused to speak to the media today. So the FBI is also remaining tight-lipped nearly a week after the raids on the mayor's home and 3 other properties in Oakland connected to the politically influential Duong family and their recycling company, California Waste Solutions.
Yeah, so she was taking kickbacks or whatever, allegedly, from a recycling company, which, you know, I've long made the argument that they're ready, willing, and able to fine people in Oakland and several Bay Area cities for not properly separating their recycling, which kind of makes sense. So if you put glass in a plastic or plastic in a glass or paper in it, and then they're like, oh, you owe us money, which is quite literally thug behavior. But come on, the recycling company, this is movie-level villain stuff, right? This is like Tony Soprano level. Oh, waste management.
Did the Cusimano kids ever find $50,000 in Krugerrands and a .45 automatic while they were hunting for Easter eggs?
I'm in the waste management business. Everybody immediately assumes you're mobbed up.
The IRS and U.S. Postal Inspection Service were also involved in at least one of the raids. While the Postal Inspection Service has declined to comment, it is common knowledge the agency investigates crimes like mail fraud. And now our Lynn has uncovered the U.S. Postal Service that it's owed tens of thousands of dollars after delivering campaign mailers aimed at benefiting Thao when she was running for mayor.
And I'm just genuinely curious how these people get so brazen, and we don't know what Mayor Sheng did. She's probably done nothing. I mean, she's done nothing for the city. Well, she's actually done a lot for the city to make it worse. But how are these people under the impression that nothing's ever going to catch up with them?
Election years bring good business to this direct mailing agency, but owner Shamari Johnson says he doesn't care much about politics.
We're here just to provide a service, to do a good job. Republicans, Democrats, we don't show any political.
What are you, blind, bro? You're sitting at the crib with your sunglasses on?
Favors.
Over the years, Johnson has printed all kinds of political.
Or not the crib, but his office, pretending to be working with a newsboy hat and his sunglasses.
Ads, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But one particular job almost cost him his livelihood.
It's been very heartbreaking, very disturbing, very emotional.
Johnson says a couple of weeks before the November 2022 general election, this man, Mario Juarez, a longtime customer, contracted him to print roughly 170,000 attack mailers targeting Oakland mayoral candidates Ignacio De La Fuente and Lauren Taylor.
doctored up. My skin is darkened. My eyes are turned red. The eyebrows are pointy in the sort of...
Yes, bro. It's called a political attack ad. Get used. Are you not in the realm of politics? Is this new to you?
invoking images of a devil or something like that.
Johnson says the attack ads went out about 1 week before the election. He says Juarez paid him about $31,000 for his service and gave him 3 checks to pay the U.S. Postal Service for the postage. After the mailers went out, all 3 checks bounced, totaling more than $53,000. Johnson says with interest, Juarez now owes the U.S. government roughly $60,000.
The USPS put a postal stop on my business direct mail permit.
He says his permit remains suspended.
So this is an unforeseen, consequence of trying to do business in California. Whether you're going to get robbed out of business by thugs, whether you're going to get stomped on by the political regime for allowing somebody to eat in a diner while it's unsafe, this is completely different. So he probably is not a criminal, but you were doing business with criminals, and this just goes to show that, and I've said it several times now, you cannot do business there anymore. It is completely over. Remember the Contra Costa County Fair employees who went to deposit a check late at night and they got robbed? Now, of course, that could have been an inside job, but it doesn't matter. They're criminals either way.
The mailer says it's funded by Mario Juarez and his independent expenditure, or IE, account called California Forward Now. We checked to see who donated money to the IE account, but it doesn't appear Juarez filed any paperwork to identify the donors, which is required by campaign financing laws.
Birthday party.
Rania Webb says she knows who paid for it. Webb served as Thao's chief of staff when Thao was the District 4 council member. Webb also volunteered on Thao's mayoral campaign, but Webb resigned from Thao's office after Thao won the election, citing concerns over public corruption. We did an extensive...
Of course, public corruption. And a couple seconds ago, you could see the flyers, the signs for Sheng, who, of course, is endorsed by Planned Parenthood, and I'm sure they're up to no good. You could probably do a deep dive into how they're selling and smuggling all sorts of weird stuff. UCSF is completely complicit in this. So do you think anybody in the realm of Bay Area politics is even remotely on the level?
Report on Webb's pay-to-play allegations against the mayor and her boyfriend last week.
The post office is involved with this investigation because it was the mail fraud with them using the funding to get those flyers sent out.
Webb says Andy Duong of California Waste Solutions was backing Thao for mayor. Webb claims Duong was paying Juarez to attack Thao's chief rivals, De La Fuente and Taylor. She recalled one meeting between Thao, Duong, and Juarez at a Jack London Square restaurant.
Andy was like, yeah, I need to talk to you about something. And Mario was like, yeah, I need some more money. That was his exact words. And he and Sheng and Mario went up to the corner, like right outside of Seabreeze, where the like Jack London little places, and they stood right there and talked for maybe like 15 minutes, and yeah. And I was like, whoa, I know that they're not supposed to be doing that. During campaigns, the campaign and that IE account are never supposed to work together. They're supposed to be 2 separate total entities.
Webb and Johnson believe the unpaid postage or the mailers could be one reason why the U.S. Postal Inspection Service was involved in last week's raid.
I can't speak to the U.S. Postal Service investigation, but what I can say is that to stiff a small business based in Oakland, a black-owned business, out of $60,000 is shameful.
The U.S. Postal Inspection Service deferred all questions to the FBI, which has declined to comment on the raids. FBI investigators have not accused Thao, Duong, or Juarez of any wrongdoing. But the Alameda County District Attorney charged Juarez with...
So wait, there's no wrongdoing, so they raided the crib? I mean, I'm under the impression that if the FBI gets involved, they probably have a pretty good case. So maybe they haven't charged them with anything yet, and they refuse to comment. So are they crooked too? I mean, they can't be trusted as far as they can be thrown either. So we know by now that there are no adults in the room.
1 count of felony for passing bad checks. As for Johnson, he's used to printing mudslinging ads. He's not happy he's caught up in one.
And it's also an embarrassment to my business to be involved in this type of situation.
Mayor Thao's spokesperson says the mayor will not engage with rumor and innuendo. She says the mayor will speak at a later time. We contacted California.
But so when they raided the house and Mayor Sheng Thao said, I'm not the dude, it was your house, but she's not the subject of this investigation. She did nothing wrong. So you're blaming it on the Duong family. You're blaming it. I think she is kind of blaming it on her boyfriend a little bit, because she's going to point the finger at anybody, right? Always the finger, never the thumb.
Waste Solutions for a comment from Andy Duong. We also contacted Mario Juarez. We are still waiting for the response.
Lauren Taylor lost the November 2022 mayoral election by less than 700 votes to Sheng Thao. So Taylor is putting together a team to run for the mayoral seat if Thao is ousted. Thao insists she will not resign, but it may not be up to her, as she is still facing recalls in the November election.
Yeah, okay. So 700 votes? Sure. I mean, there is nothing sacred for these people. So here we have the criminal politicians in Oakland who are quite literally letting everything collapse, or encouraging. I mean, they are allowing, they are incentivizing the complete collapse. Then you have the regular citizen thugs who are robbing people blind. And then clear across the country in New York, you have the Venezuelan illegals, the asylum seekers, the, migrants who are just looking for a better life, literally wreaking havoc, shooting at police, smuggling guns into shelters. But I can almost guarantee that if a regular person tries to, recall Sheng Thao, they will be deemed a criminal. And while that's all happening, here's what a tiny bit of what the real criminals are up to. There's quite literally not enough time in a day to go through everything. It is impossible, as we know by now. But Juneteenth, Lake Merritt shooting victim loses finger, suffers life-changing injuries. And this was the talk of the town because it happened only a day before Mayor Sheng Thao was raided. And then we kind of forgot about it because it went from the regular street criminals and the victims of those crimes to the political thugs. And here, just really quickly, East Bay City Council member resigns, says he was priced out of town. So I guess this is one of the political people who was not a thug and for whatever reason wasn't in on the scam, and he has left town. And I get it, it's Newark, it's a different East Bay town, it's not Oakland, but it quite clearly is spreading. We see in New York that the migrant criminal crimes are escalating, and in the Bay Area, the criminal takeover is also spreading. A Newark City Council member has abruptly resigned on Thursday. Mike Bucci explained on Facebook, "Unfortunately, we're just the next people in a long line of folks who have been priced out of town. We tried to buy a home a number of times over the years, but it never happened for us. Now the window has closed, and any chance we had to stay in Newark is long past." So even the criminal regime can't afford to stay in the Bay Area, I guess. So you can maybe thank Nancy Pelosi or Gavin Newsom or Adam Schiff or Sheng Thao herself, who are also dealing with the criminal aspect that they created. Of course, it's just the cost of doing business for them. So I guess props to this guy. I don't know anything about him, but if he was on the city council and couldn't afford to stay in the Bay Area, you were doing something very wrong.